I have been less active on YouTube and my socials and everything else than usual. And there's a reason why. And it is also, sorry about that, L. It is also poured over into my online teaching space. So stick around and find out what's been going on and how I've been navigating it. So if you haven't noticed, I've been way less active on updating videos. And there's a pretty big reason for that. And that big reason is this giant thing. I can't back up enough to tell you. I am currently, can you see, 18 weeks pregnant. And just now, finally, starting to feel better. So in this video, I'm going to start telling you about how I kind of navigated that as an online teacher and teaching online, because the sickness this time, guys, was way worse than I had my son. So I am 18 weeks pregnant, and just in the last couple of weeks, I'm feeling like I can eat again. I'm not sleeping very well because I'm not comfortable. I normally sleep on my belly, so I'm tired because I can't. And I keep trying not to roll over onto my back, because when I do, I wake up crampy. So I'm just not sleeping very well. So for the past few months, online teaching has been difficult. One thing that I did, and I kind of lucked out in this, was I really stepped back. I did not teach as much as usual, and there's a few reasons for that. One, super nauseous, like all the time. I don't have hyperemesis G something, HG, when you have severe morning sickness. That wasn't me. I just had severe nausea. And I did get sick. But the getting sick wasn't like an all-day, everyday ordeal. It was just, and I never knew which day it would happen, but it would eventually happen at some point in time during the day. So I took a really big step back. And one, it kind of helped because, so I found out I was pregnant in August. And school hadn't started back up yet, so I was pretty much off. But as school started up in the past, usually I got going in like October. Well, things were slower this year, and I didn't really get going until November. Now, I was at my peak worst feeling in November because for some reason, my nausea and my morning sickness, it kicks in late for me. So I get it late first trimester. The first part of the trimester, I'm tired. But for the most part, like stomach-wise, I'm okay. But it kicks in late first trimester for me. So if you think I got pregnant in August, I found out I was pregnant in August. I got pregnant in August too. August, September, October, November. It's the end of the first trimester by November, but it was not better. And so I still have trash here. So like those little mints you get at restaurants, I would suck on those while I was teaching if I didn't feel great, and that helped for the most part. I never did have to run off camera to go take care of business. So it really helped that tutoring sessions for me got started later than normal because I could kind of take a step back. And I felt comfortable enough with this platform that I could send a quick chat to my boss if I needed to and say, hey, here's the scoop. But I didn't have to. I'm really thankful because for like when I was teaching ESL, I heard stories of teachers who were pregnant, but we're not allowed to leave. Like if we're teaching first thing in the morning on my platform, I was on VIP Kid. And so for me, in the central time zone, it was like 4 to 7, 5 to 8, kind of depending. And so if you have typical morning sickness, unlike me, that's when it's peaking. And you're not really supposed to like run off camera. Obviously, you got to do what you got to do. So I heard stories of teachers who would say, yeah, I kept a trash bin next to me. And if it came, I turned off my camera. I muted myself. I grabbed my trash can. And then once it passed, I went right back to teaching. And guys, I was so mortified at just the idea of having to do that. Like, I am home. I should be able to not get sick in a trash can when there is a bathroom literally next door to me in my house. Thankfully, it never came down to that for me because I do teach later in the afternoon. Granted, that means nothing with me. A lot of times it hit at dinner time. But So if you can, if you're pregnant and wondering how to make this work, my biggest piece of advice is to take a step back, open fewer slots. Don't open any slots if you can afford it, because what's the most important right now is taking care of you and your pregnancy. And I know it's hard to lose that money, but for me, that was the most important part, was taking care of the pregnancy, because we did have a previous loss before this one. And so that was very scary too. Was just thinking like, oh, it's week. This is the week it happened. It could be this week. Or, oh, this is a weird feeling. Is this going to be the first sign of another loss? And so it was very stressful for me. And so being able to take a step back was really helpful. And you'll notice in the last 3 months, I think I've loaded like 2 videos onto YouTube. And that is because I just felt like straight up garbage. I couldn't run. My son wants to like race to his bedroom every night. I couldn't race down the hallway with him because my stomach was upset. Putting the dogs to bed at night and like grabbing the dog bed and moving it, just the act of bending over at like the wrong instance, I couldn't do that. Smelling meat that my husband cooked for dinner, couldn't do that. Like, meat is still kind of iffy to me. Like, for lunch today, I had a bowl of yogurt. Like, what else couldn't I do? Riding in the car. Yeah, that was not fun. I've always had trouble in the car. Usually in the back seat with like stop and go traffic, but it didn't matter. So there were just all kinds of things that would just trigger me and set me off. The dog food. Oh, that still smells bad, but it doesn't turn my stomach anymore. Burping. Okay, I know that's probably like TMI or like a lot of information, and if you don't care to hear it, fast forward. But I get a lot of heartburn and indigestion when I'm pregnant, and if it's not like the heartburn, it's like the burping or the hiccups or whatever. And if I had to burp, it also make me gag, which would also make me feel the need to run to the bathroom. So all of these things accumulated with not feeling like I could teach, not feeling like I could upload videos, not feeling like I could do really much of anything. Yes, I could upload videos and edit out any dashing off camera that I needed to do, but I also didn't have the creative space to think, what do I want to talk about? Early on, I didn't want to share the pregnancy because I was scared I was going to lose it. And then it became, well, I don't even know what to talk about anymore. I don't have the creative juices to do it. And I'm pregnant and I have a whole new scope of things to talk about, because when I was pregnant with my son, I wasn't teaching online yet. But I didn't have the creative space and the creative brain power to do it. I remember I'd be getting ready in the morning like, yeah, I should film a video. I'm feeling okay today. But what do I film a video about? So I just didn't. So as I'm feeling better, I'm in my 2nd trimester now. Like I said, I'm 18 weeks. I can eat again. I can smell dog food without feeling queasy again. As I've gotten further into my 2nd trimester, my creative juices have started coming back. And I don't know if it's nesting. I don't think it's nesting. My husband is nesting. He just took 2 weeks of leave off work for the Thanksgiving holidays and stuff. And let me tell you, the stuff he has done, we have gone through all of my son's old clothes and decided what to keep and what to donate. We have rearranged the living room, bought new furniture, like storage furniture, not like couches and stuff. He is ready to sand and paint the crib, and he's just like ready to do all these things. And I'm sitting here like, cool, dude. So the other day, we had this TV stand that was just like falling apart. The doors had fallen off. It was like bowed from our TV sitting on. Our TV's really heavy. It's old. We got it the year we got married, 8 years ago. And it was falling apart. The shelves weren't staying put. And so we replaced it with a different organizer that our son could hide more toys in so he could still have his toys out there. And in the process, he unplugged the internet because the internet lives right over there. And when he plugged it back in, the internet did not respond. So was I allowed to do anything to help? No, because I'm pregnant. So anyways, back from the tangent where I'm not allowed to do anything. I have to just sit there and be like, okay, dude, cool plan. My nesting comes in later. There's things I want to do, but so we live in a 4-bedroom house, right? 1 room is our room. 1 room is my son's room. The 3rd room is the guest room. And the 4th room is this room. Where's the baby gonna go? So we're toying with all these ideas of, well, maybe we put a shed up in the backyard and that becomes the office. Or maybe we put the office in our pretty sizable walk-in closet, but then we have to find somewhere for our clothes. all in all, we want this eventually, however it ends up being, we want this to become the guest room and the current guest room to become the baby's room. We just don't quite know how we're going to end there. So I can't really do my nesting that I want to do, which is, decorating and laundry and, cleaning all of the bassinet and the swing and the car seat, just cleaning all of the stuff that my son used that's been in storage for 5 years. That's all the nesting that I want to do that I can't really do yet. So once we figure that out, which will be an after Christmas kind of ordeal, probably tax return time. So anyways, I got off on this huge tangent. Welcome to my brain. So if you are trying to teach online and you're pregnant, whether it's your first time pregnant or it's not your first time pregnant, but it's your first time being pregnant teaching online, take a break if you can. That's really my biggest takeaway. And if you are one of those people who loves being pregnant and feels great the whole time, then maybe you don't need to take a break and you can keep going. But that's not me. So I really just came here to say that I do plan on coming back. I do plan on being back much more frequently now that I am back on a teaching routine. My son is back in school. I am feeling better, and I'm going to try to get stuff preloaded so that when I do take maternity leave, there's still stuff coming out for you. But like I said, it has been a long road to get here. I had planned on releasing a live challenge for you, and I still plan on doing it, but I'd already planned on doing it and having it created. So anyways, if you are on the wait list for the live challenge, that's not scrapped. I still am planning to do it. My hope is to do it before the baby arrives, but I haven't created the materials. I know what I want. I know what it's going to look like. I just haven't created the slides and the space for it and all of that. So now that my brain is back, if you do want to be a part of that, it is all designed to help you set up your online teaching profile, whether you're hired on a platform or not. It's pretty generic. So you're going to set up your profile video, your profile picture, you're going to figure out your strengths as a teacher. You're going to set up your blurb. It's all things that regardless of where you teach, you're going to want to know them. And the whole plan is to go live with you and help you learn those things and have office hours so you can ask questions. And it's all free. It's going to be 4 or 5 days. If you want to get on that wait list, onlineteacherallison.com/challenge. It is linked down below. And if you want to get started but you don't know where, grab my free PDF download. That's going to match you to a platform based off when you want to teach, what you want to teach, whether you want it to be ESL or you don't, because those are the two big categories, ESL and non-ESL, everything else. So there's more than that, but you can get that at onlineteacherallison.com/platform. That is also free. And yeah, just keep an eye out because things are going to start rolling probably in the new year. All right. I hope you're having the greatest week ever. Sorry, that was just kind of a random storytelling, but that's my life right now. I'm pregnant. I'm tired. I'm finally eating, finally getting creative again, finally teaching again. And I'm excited to be back. Can't wait to see you guys around. Bye.